If the great American dream is to own your own home, then the ultimate dream is to own your dream home. And for a fortunate few, that could mean something like this. Magnificent in virtually every detail, and all the product of a very extraordinary Boston area builder, the Hallmark companies of Hopkinton. Unique in that they specialize in high-end custom homes, and that they are a design and build firm, which means they handle it all. For their clients, they are the only contact that customer has from the start to the finish of the project. It is an amazing story about a very unique building firm. And we got the details from the co-founder and the president of the firm himself, Ron Rue.
Hallmark is a design-build firm that handles all aspects of design and construction. Unlike most companies that are in this industry, we handle all aspects of design and provide a full complement of design professionals and services to our clients. What we really focus on in this company is that everybody works for us. That includes the architect and the landscape architect. By working for us, it gives us a huge amount of control over what the final product ends up being, as we become the only point of contact for the customer. The customer's involved with all these individuals, they are part of the process, but everything gets coordinated by us, by Hallmark. So we actually work with the customer to design their home and go through the whole design process before we even get into construction. So we handle the total project.
You, in effect, really do take all the headaches of building a home away from the homeowner. You handle it all, right?
Yeah, we really do. That's the model that we created for this company. We have a limited number of clients. They tend to be CEOs and COOs and presidents of corporations, and a lot of them own their own corporations. So we have a very high-end clientele. They are looking for an organization that will assume all responsibility for all aspects of construction. What they buy with this company is more than that. We also do the same for all aspects of design. And for those that experience that, and some of them have built homes before, it's a pleasure, and they tell us that all the time, that they can come here, start from scratch, have us understand their vision, and have them realize that vision through the design process and then see it actually constructed. That's what we offer. That's where we have a niche that we feel we don't have any competition.
So what are the advantages to the customer in the long run when it's all said and done?
Probably the biggest advantage of all is the level of customization that can occur. The whole design experience, from the site planning right down to the finest details of designing the kitchen cabinets and the countertop that's going to go on there. Every single one of those items is part of this process. And the level of craftsmanship that we provide gives us huge flexibility in terms of what we can provide for that customer. They end up with a product that's kind of unparalleled in this area.
How involved do you stay with these clients throughout the entire process, from beginning to end?
At the beginning of the process, I work closely with the customer and my director of marketing and sales, so that we work with that customer to really get a good, clear understanding of what it is they are trying to achieve and what their vision is. Till we get to the point where the home's designed, the site is designed, we have a lot of the specifications outlined at that point, and we are under contract. At that point, my partner takes over, and the design coordinators. And it's the design coordinators working with my partner that actually handle the construction of the home. So at that point, I step away from the process. I have a partner that is responsible for all the contractors, the suppliers, and the detailed design aspects of that home.
I'd recommend anybody that was looking at to build a house would definitely work with Hallmark. I have nothing but good things to say about them. It was a pleasure working with them. Not one thing, can I honestly say, was a problem or anything on this project. It was just a joy. I mean, and I've built a house before, and it does not always work out that way. My first house was a nightmare.
Erica, what do you think it is that brings people to Hallmark?
For the most part, people come in and have an idea in their mind of what they want, but they don't know how to visualize it. If they look at blueprints, they have a hard time seeing it. So what we do when we have clients like that is we take them through an existing home so that they can understand a little bit better. On the other hand, we get clients who have had experience building a home before, and they do know what they want, and they're very specific.
Would you say most of your customers are familiar in the way that Hallmark works?
I think right now, yes, because most of our clients have come from referrals, so they have been able to speak with people about their Hallmark experience. Hallmark has an incredible reputation for quality and craftsmanship.
And what's it like when you take the clients out to see homes that you've actually built and they can walk through?
They're in awe, and they start walking around the house pointing things out, saying they love this, they love that, they want their kitchen counter to be that color, they want their cabinets to be, a shade of that, and, they ask questions because they're seeing things that they've never seen before. Old world finishes, Tuscan designs. It's things that you rarely see in New England.
A lot of people have gone through the home building process and have horror stories to tell. We've all heard those. How do you convince your customers that it'll be different if it's a Hallmark built home?
That is the one thing that our clients always say about us, is that this is a completely different experience than they've ever had before, because we do not let anybody come in between us and our client. We take care of the architects, be it the building architect or the landscape architect, all of the suppliers. We are the point of contact for everything, so that they can feel comfortable knowing that we are in charge and take control of all of that for them, and handhold them and walk them through every step.
Hallmark made it possible for Paul and I and our family to obtain the vision that we had in mind. We worked on the house for almost a year before move-in date, and everything that we had dreamed about a year ago, we were actually able to visualize and rejoice in our first night here in the house.
Building a home is a very exciting experience, and we make it a very pleasurable one.
Lisa, as design coordinator, exactly what is it you do? What kind of service do you provide for the company's clients?
Well, many people are very intimidated or overwhelmed by the thought of building a home of this scale and all the details that is involved. So my job as design coordinator for Hallmark is to ease that process. So I work with people throughout the process to select things like flooring, cabinetry, counters, every aspect of the design process. We also have a design center that we provide for our customers where they can actually come in and touch and feel a lot of these items and really get a sense of where it's going. And so by the end of that process, they truly have a customized and personalized home.
And how do you think this helps the customer to have this available?
Well, if you send somebody in that's maybe building a 5,000 to 8,000 square foot house, it might have 6 or 7 bathrooms, and you send them into a plumbing store and say, select what you need for your house, they're going to be very overwhelmed. They don't know where to begin to start. So my job is to go with them and guide them through that process. By going through the entire process with them, we're also able to coordinate. So for instance, if they've picked a certain style of faucet, we can help them select lighting to coordinate with it and really make the whole thing flow seamlessly so that every component of the house flows together and gives a nice finished product.
I would imagine there are some people who come in and after having seen a lot of these things that you have to show them through the design center, that they absolutely, totally change their mind as to what they thought they wanted. Does that ever happen?
Well, I ask people in the initial meeting usually to come in and give me some pictures, and some thoughts. Just go through magazines and catalogs and just to get a sense of the type of home they want. Because I might be working with somebody that's building something that's a little more country or a little more European, so I really have to, work with their style. But a lot of times people aren't aware at all of the new things that are available. So for instance, we've started building homes with wrought iron staircases instead of wood staircases. In New England, they haven't seen a lot of the things that are available in other parts of the country. And so we're able to bring some new design concepts to them that they wouldn't have thought of before. There's so many choices that they have to make that if you can bring the choices to them, it's much easier for them to decide. If I will go out, for example, on a fairly routine basis and go to a carpet supplier and get kind of the latest and nicest that I think for carpets and bring them in. So then when the customer is looking to select a carpet, they really have kind of the best to choose from. And they don't need to go out and search around for that type of thing. A lot of the people that are coming up here, They might be moving from another area, they don't know the area, and suddenly they have to, make all these choices. So we really try to minimize, and simplify the process for them.
I couldn't say enough good praise about Hallmark Builders and the way they treated us, the way they worked with us. We had very little problems. Everything went fairly smoothly. Building's a very stressful situation anyways, and so anytime you can have somebody that's easy to work with, it just makes it so much more pleasurable. And for that reason, I would definitely recommend, Hallmark Builders, without a doubt.
Talk to me about the exercise you go through in taking your new clients to Dallas for a couple of days.
From the point at which they first establish contact with us, and they're pre-qualified, and when we get to the point where we have an understanding of who the customer is, what they want to build, where they want to build it, that's what starts the whole process of the design of the actual home itself. And that's when we take them to Dallas. The reason we take them to Dallas is they have a lot of product in Dallas that reflects the type of construction we do. We use brick, we use cast stone, we use a lot of old world finishes that are fairly typical in that area. Not very typical of New England, at least not at this point in time.
So I think when going to Dallas, we spent a couple of days with Ed and Ron and got a real chance to get a feel for what they were like. And and an important part in a big endeavor like this is building some trust. And I think that helped in getting to know them a little bit. We had dinner with them, seeing them all day long, showing houses. We really got a good feel of what they're all about. So that helped us, because at that point we were just still in the early stages, and from there really gave us a good feel when we finally had a more or less sign on the dotted line that we're going to do this. We had a very good feel about them, and I think that was important because this was going to be quite an undertaking, and Deb was going to probably have the bulk of it. She's going to have to work with them, and so I think after that experience we were ready to pretty much move ahead.
And what geographic area here in the vicinity of Boston do you actually build homes?
The greater Boston area, but predominantly Metro West communities. Communities like Hopkinton, Sherburne, Dover, Southborough, Bolton. Those are the types of communities that we tend to build in because the incomes in those areas and the properties in those areas tend to support the types of homes we build. And I can't stress enough, when I say that we handle the total project, I sincerely mean that. When a customer comes to us, our job, and we're great listeners, okay, our job is to sit and understand what that customer's vision is, what their likes and dislikes are, where they would like to locate, what towns they like, what towns they don't like, what types of homes they like, the type of setting that they expect. We need to get that information from that client. Sometimes they know those answers, sometimes they don't. When they don't, we help them define that. We help them get there. And when we do, and then when that vision is clear to us, it's at that point that we move ahead and can either put them on a lot that we hold in inventory or find them a lot. Or in some cases, the customer already comes to us with a lot. The scarcity of land in the markets we work in is a real issue. It's a real problem. In spite of that, we have managed to have an inventory of lots in some of Greater Boston's most desirable areas. We really do. We have some great lots in some great areas.
I understand you work from a financial point of view on what is known as a cost-plus basis. Explain to me exactly how that works.
In the design-build process, with the level of customization that's involved, the only way you can price is cost-plus. Unlike the traditional fixed-price approach, where every change results in a change order to reflect the changes from the base home, with cost plus, it is based on the actual cost of construction, to which we add a factor to cover Hallmark's administrative, overhead, and profit. It's really the only approach you can use. It's the fairest approach. It's the only manageable approach where the degree of customization and design is as extensive as it is in our operation. From a standpoint of cost, I think the customer pretty much ends up in the same place. It's a lot less work for us. It's a lot less cumbersome to them because the customer can totally focus on their home and the design of their home and making their vision a reality. They don't have to be spending their days processing change orders, because our homes do have that level of customization, and the clients come to us for that reason. They expect that level of customization in the product that we create.
We found in the course of our working with Ron Rue and Ed Tarka and all the subcontractors that there was a great amount of trust and mutual respect. We had never built a home like this before, but we all talked and came up with ideas together about how to do things better or in a more innovative fashion, but the mutual goal was to come up with a beautiful end product. And we can tell you that the trust among everyone that worked on this house grew as each day went by, such that I will tell many people today that I would do a deal with Hallmark Properties on a handshake in the future.
These homes that we design are designed around lifestyles. And one of the things we're really proud about is every one of our homes, we really try to understand the individual and what the individual's lifestyle is. And that gets incorporated into the design of these homes. These homes are a reflection of that customer's lifestyle. Some people say that, we mean it. And when they move into those homes, there's a comfort level that exists right from day one. That house was their vision, and it is a reflection of their vision, and now they get to live in it. And if we've done our job and done it well, they're really going to enjoy that home for a very long time.
The very interesting story of an amazing builder of high-end custom homes throughout the Boston area, the Hallmark Companies of Hopkinton. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Sherborne.